Tom McNally wasn't the only one making plans. The trade unions were fed up after 3 years of incomes policy. Their members wanted the freedom to bargain for bigger wage increases. They had warned the Prime Minister that a difficult winter of pay claims lay ahead and had urged him to go for a quick election. At their Congress in Brighton that September, they, like many others, were expecting Big Jim to announce the date.
On Jim's instructions, I'd written the TUC speech as effectively a launch speech for a general election campaign. And he went through the whole structure of the speech as written, but then suddenly changed the conclusion, and instead of giving a ringing cry of let's go to the country and here's why we should and here's why we deserve to win, he came out with this song.
There was I, waiting at the church. All at once, he sent me round a note.
It slowly dawned on the audience there was to be no autumn election.
Can't get away to marry you today. My wife won't let me.
Well, I disapprove of him singing songs. I like Jim. I have very great respect for him. I think he was one of the best prime ministers of the post-war period, next to Harold Macmillan. But to stand there and sing a ditty, I was perhaps too serious, I don't know, but I took a very serious view of Congress itself, and I thought Jim was treating them with a little bit of levity, which I disapproved of.
Now let me just make clear that I have promised nobody that I shall be at the altar in October. Nobody at all.
They clapped politely, but underneath, the trade union leaders were seething.
The really embarrassed people were David Besnett and the trade union leaders, because just before the Callaghan speech to the TUC, David Besnett called a press conference of the industrial correspondents, at which he dished out a press release saying we endorse the Prime Minister's obviously sensible decision to call a general election now. As you all know, there was nothing else he could have done. David was deeply embarrassed, furious.
It must be work and vote for Labour.
And Basnett in particular never really forgave Jim for playing the fool with the TUC General Council, which again didn't make for a good preparation for the battle ahead, because his enemies were still his enemies, and his friends felt bamboozled, to put it kindly.